has always formed part of the syllabus in the teaching of English. However, it can be used for a variety of purposes, ranging from being merely a backup for grammar teaching to a major syllabus strand in its own right. The importance given to grading differs from teaching situation to teaching situation. Some theories statements about grading are:
McDonough and Shaw state that grading differs in some significant ways to do with the purpose of grading in the class and in everyday life, and the relationship between these two settings. Hedge mentions, in the absence of a well-established or widely recognized model of grading, teachers tend to have very varying ideas about the role of grading in the classroom, what grading involves, and the possible roles of teachers and students in developing grading activities. Hedge divides the purpose for grading into 6 categories: personal, social, public, study, creative, and institutional.
Hedge's typology makes it very clear that when we write, we address our message to a wide and varied audience which may range from family and friends to officials to ourselves.
John Clegg cites, speaking is good for the early tentative exploratory stages of learning a concept. Grading is good for the later stages of polishing and refining the concept. Unlike talk, in which concepts soon fly away, grading allows us to hold incomplete concepts so that we can operate on them through modifications in grading language and push the refinement process much further than we can through talk. So, grading is per excellence a thinking process.
Penior draws up a list of differences between grading and spoken discourse. Let's see about the grading. Grading discourse is fixed and stable, so reading can be done at whatever time, speed, and level, trueness the individual reader wishes. The grading test is explicit. It has to make clear the context and all references. The content is presented much more densely in grading. The grading of a text is detaching time and space from its reading. The grader normally works alone and may not be acquainted with his or her reader. A grading text is usually organized and carefully formulated since the composer has time and opportunity to edit it. Writing is much slower than speaking. We can usually read a piece of text and understand it much faster. Writing normally uses a generally acceptable standard variety of language. Written form is in most cases deliberately taught and learned. Speech is considered more important for survival and effective functioning in society than writing. Brand suggests create plausible context, and some examples are:
To order students invitations, instructions, directions. For the whole class, a magazine, poster information, a cookbook with recipes from different countries. For new students, information on the school and its locality. To the teacher, not only for the teacher, about themselves, and the teacher can reply or indeed initiate. For themselves, lists, notes, and diaries. To pen friends. To other people in the school asking about interests and hobbies, conducting a survey. To people and organizations outside the school, writing for information and answering advertisements.
Hi, this is Rose, and now I'm presenting my last lesson plan that is focused on grading, and as you can see, is directed to 4th graders. And as I have mentioned in my last videos, the elements of my curricula are the learning environment, academic and educational, communicative activity, interpret and write information about on a calendar. Social practice of the language, use language as means of planning and remembering events and special dates. Achievements. The objective of this lesson is that my students be able to write dates of events based on a model, identify popular celebrations in Mexico and write about them. And the vocabulary that I'm presenting, or as reviewing, is the months of the year, ordinal numbers, holidays, and birthdays. Okay, so before to go on my development, I want to mention something about what I've read in the anthology that says that we as teachers tend to apply a variety of activities depending on the context of the teaching. So here I am using special dates in Mexico. So this kind of topic result for them attractive, so they can develop well writing. And as Smith mentioned too in the anthology, for those learners that are visual, these kind of activities result significant for them. So the first part of my development is a matching game. Use a set of cards with numbers and names of ordinal numbers. Scramble the cards on the board and choose two participants. Ask to then match the card as corresponding. Okay, my students have English classes from first grade. So it's a daily activity in class that they write the day by themselves. For example, today is, and then the day. So they recognize the ordinal numbers. So it's a kind of review. So this kind of activity is just to reinforce what they have learned. So I'm going to show them the flashcard scramble on the board, and they are going to identify the number, the ordinal number, with the graded number. So they are going to match the numbers and the graded numbers. Okay, this is the activity to reinforce this part of the vocabulary. Okay, so I have this part that says show to students some characters from cartoons and write, and I have this name Gumball, but who is Gumball? Okay, Gumball is this. Okay, this is a character from a cartoon, and I use this kind of characters because through them I can engage my students into this activity. So for example, here I'm mentioning with the icon that we are talking about a birthday. So they know, as we were working with numbers, ordinal numbers, months of the year, days of the week, that the first number is a month and the second one is the day. And additional has an ending. So what is this activity? This activity is that they are going to transform this into a complete sentence. For example, Gumball's birthday is on, and they write July and 8. Okay, so we are going to work with other characters. For example, this that is Nicole, and this one that is Richard and Darwin, until they get what is this kind of activity. Okay, once we have finished, we are going to continue with the second part. Show students some flashcards with special dates celebrated in Mexico. Example, drawing with a school that represents Day of the Dead and the date. And I have the date here, Mexican flag, and Children's Day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to show them, for example, let me show you, for example, this flashcard. Okay, and says here, Day of the Dead. When they see the drawing, they identify what kind of celebration is. So as we were working with the statement, the completed statements, they are going to know that they are going to write the correct sentence. For example, Day of the Dead is on, then the month of the year, and then the ordinal number. Okay, this is the activity. Okay, and right here I have, for example, Day of the Dead is on November 2nd. They are going to transform this little number into a month in a whole sentence. Okay, all right. And the last part I have students open their books on page 24, point them out to look on the calendars the red circles and ask them if they recognize the celebrations. Help them to identify using flashcards. Okay, I scan my page. Okay, here, the first part. Okay, look at here. Think and write. And here are parts of the months. Yes, and we have some days that are circled with red. Yes, and if they don't know what kind of celebration is, for example, here that I have February in 14 is circle, I'm going to show them this. They are going to San Valentin, in English, Valentine's Day. Okay, and right here they have an instruction that said write the circle dates from the calendar. And for example, here says Mother's Day is in the another page here, right? Okay. What are they going to do? As we were practicing in the class, they are going to they are going to write the whole sentence. Mother's Day is on, then the month, and then the ordinal number. And they are going to do the rest of the circle numbers. Okay? And below they have another instruction that says write your birthday and circle it in a calendar. So they are going to circle the birthday of them, and they going to write my birthday is on the month and the day. The extent activity, says make a list of your favorite days. So this extension of the activities is the product that I mentioned in my lesson plan. For example, here, list of favorite days of our celebrations. They are going to write, for example, another special dates. For example, here that I have Children's Day, they are going to write Children's Day is on April 30th. Yeah. Oh, my grandpa birthday is on. So they are going to make a list of their favorite dates. Okay. All right. This is the practice of grading activities. So I hope you like it.